how do you implement security in your cloud? What are the security models you can consider? Different components you can have that the cloud operators are using to run their business operations. If you have private cloud, how the application is going to access the data? What is the main thing that needs to be taken care for succeeding in a cloud service? Hello students, welcome to the next session of cloud computing and big data analytics. I am Dr. Soumyashri from Department of Computer Science, Vidhyaashram College. Till now, with the previous session, we completed something basics about the cloud computing, like what is cloud computing, what are the different requirements, or what are the benefits of incorporating cloud computing, what are the services that a cloud computing can provide, like types of cloud computing. For example, you can take a private cloud, public cloud, hybrid cloud, or community cloud, or based on the vendor service like infrastructure as a service, IaaS, platform as a service or PaaS, and software as a service, that is SaaS. Is it not? These are some of the things that I explained in the first unit of cloud computing. Okay, the first unit covers only the basics of the cloud computing. What are the necessity things and basic knowledge about cloud computing. If somebody asks you what is cloud computing, you will be able to say it. If anybody asks what are the different cloud computing services one can obtain, you can give something, or you can tell something about the emerging technology, isn't it? When it comes to the second unit mainly concentrates on the cloud computing solutions, cloud computing stack, how does cloud computing is beneficial to the business, and something about how to store something in a cloud. That is an advanced thing to learn in a cloud computing, is it not? Cloud computing is you can rightly say as cloud service rather than computing. You are not going to compute much. You are just providing service to the people or to the organization who are in need of the cloud and who think that cloud service is better than doing the operations in local components. Okay. In the second unit, our unit starts with the concept of solutions in cloud service. What are the different solutions a cloud vendor or a cloud service can provide to a client? Okay. Now, let us have a brief look about what are the necessity things we need about cloud computing. Okay. In this unit, we are going to mainly concentrate on the cloud ecosystem, then cloud business process management. How does cloud is going to manage the business process? Cloud service management. How does cloud provides the service? Cloud stack. Computing the cloud or computing the service based on the demand, and cloud sourcing. How do you provide a source to the client with respect to cloud, like in case of Wikipedia. Okay. Now, let us have the other topics in detail with the whole session. Okay, first comes is the introduction to cloud services or cloud solutions. What you can do with the cloud computing. Okay, so this cloud computing or cloud service, or you say environment, what it will give you is, it will give you a new opportunity. It will give you a new chance. For what it is giving a new chance is to enhance the user experience. If you are a user, you can have an enhanced experience of cloud. Until now, we have used the local resources, local data, local server you have access. Now it is an opportunity to access or to enhance the experience, providing a broader communication. You can communicate to the cloud or you can communicate to somebody else using the cloud services. So you can better access or better have a communication with the user of the cloud. This is with respect to the cloud vendor. So this will be an enhanced user experience for you. You can feel, if you are a cloud vendor, how does you can feel the experience, or you can have extra experience of how the user feels about your cloud service. All right. Okay. This along with provides a series of business opportunities or business services. You can have different business services or opportunities to the user via your application. What are the applications you have? What are the services you are providing? Through that, you are going to give business services, business related. It is not all about only giving storage space to the client or giving database to the client or giving software to the client or any platform or hardware component to the client. You are mainly giving the services. In total, all these tasks that a cloud vendor is doing can be termed as a service. What kind of service it is? It is a business service. That means it is not a social service where you are going for free or you are giving everything for free. You are doing with a business service. Okay, today's even service has become business oriented. We concentrate on the profit that we are going to get from giving a cloud service. All right. It also deploys the application to the cloud. You can deploy various applications, third-party application, your own application, hardware components to the cloud, which is not possible or which is not common with the local things that we have done within the enterprise or within an organization. Giving services within an organization and giving service to someone else outside the organization or to the entire world will be a different experience for a cloud vendor. Okay, so you can have series of deployment steps. You cannot simply say, oh, you can access the data and perform any operation on the cloud. So you have to have what are the different things you can do, what are the different services you can provide to a client. Okay, and you have to validate the deployment. What are the services you are giving? It is an authorized one. If you are providing a platform to the client, you have to authorize that it is a proper version of the software you are providing to them. If you are providing a hardware, you are providing authenticated hardware to the client and he can trust your service until he is your client. So, you have to give the validation of the deployment to the client, like what is the instance of the cloud they are using, what is the size, pricing plan, how do you price for their usage, then authorized applications you are providing to them or they are choosing, like there may be GDA Cloud SQL tutorial they are getting with the educational purpose. So, you are providing these applications. This is provided by this screen is provided by, or this features are provided by the cloud provider or cloud vendor to the client, where you can specify what type of service you are giving, what is the size of or if it is storage or if it is a platform, what is the size of that platform they are accessing, and how they are priced or how they are charged for the service they are getting. Apart from that, you can have the applications they are going to use, clients are going to use, and when you get into the instance creation, it will create separate instance for a client. That means they need to have the validated application with you. Okay. Along with that, some of the solutions that can be provided is development and testing environment will also be provided to the client, which are readily available within the cloud environment. The client will not to worry about how does I'm going to store the data, how do I, if it is pass, how do I'm going to execute the programs or execute the models. And important is not only developing the application, along with that there must be an opportunity to test the module. Without testing, you cannot say that it is working properly, behaving according to the user requirement. The employee or the developer cannot ensure to the client or to the user of the application that the application is working properly. If he needs to be confident about his developed application, he needs to have a testing experience of the developed application, is it not? So, this testing environment will also be provided by the cloud solutions or cloud services. Okay. What are the advantages of using these cloud environments is mainly the costing experience or the cost that will be leveraged on the client or the customer. Okay. When compared to the investment needed to deploy in new softwares and new hardwares exclusively for an organization will cost them very much, will make their investment double because of only IT cost. IT cost, it will double the expenditure or investment on a business. Okay. The main advantage of using cloud service or any organization thinking of going to cloud services is all about the cost perspective or cost view. In case of cost, there is no need to purchase any servers or any hardware component like basic hardware component we need, advanced hardware component. If the organization is in need of 20 workstation computers, you can avoid this cost of 20 workstation computers by going to the cloud service. You can reduce the cost of investment or reduce the cost of IT by going to the cloud environment rather than purchasing a server or purchasing a extra hardware components to the organization. Okay. If POC or proof of concept, like POC stands for proof of concept. Proof of concept is being developed. That means there is still in planning stage. Proof of concept is in the planning stage, in the beginning stage, and project is cancelled. You are just in a planning stage. You have got some new project from some of the user or someone else, a new project you have got. You are still in the conceptual level, that is planning stage, and the project is cancelled and you cannot do any more of these tasks, and the things that I have done previously are all wasted. That means the project is not available to our organization. If I am the employee of the organization and the project has been cancelled for that organization and they have given that project to somebody else, or they have totally cancelled the project. In such a case, what happens if the organization has purchased a new software, hardware components or PCs and other development tools? If there is a chance that we have purchased, the organization have purchased, say if it is the organization XYZ, for which organization ABC has given a project, but at the end moment, the project has been taken back or cancelled by the ABC organization to the XYZ. If you think that XYZ has purchased their own softwares, authenticated softwares, hardware components and testing and developing tools, the cost leveraged on all these investment will be wasted when the project gets cancelled. What is the benefit of cloud service here is, we have not purchased anything from the cloud. We have just taken it on pay-per-use model. We don't know whether the project will continue or not. We are not sure whether it will continue or not. So what I have done is, I have taken a cloud service from some of the vendor and used these software, hardware components and the testing tools. What is the benefit of using cloud service rather than purchasing all these things is, even if the project gets cancelled, no need of throwing away anything. You cannot say that the investment we have done is a waste, because we have invested very low cost, or we have invested very low money, very less money when compared to the money or cost required to purchase new components. So this cloud service or cloud solution cloud service will give you a solution to your problem of purchasing new components for the sake of a single project. If it gets cancelled, I will be in a loss. What I will do, instead of purchasing the components, what I will do is, I will go for a cloud service. So this cloud service has provided the solution for me. Even if project gets cancelled, I will be in a very much less loss, because I can only throw away the cloud supports development and testing of application. You can just cancel the services obtained from the cloud vendor and you can be in relief that you have experienced a little loss to your business. Okay, it will save you a lot of money, isn't it? So this is a cloud solution that can be given to a business from the business perspective. Okay. Next is, if you are a cloud vendor, what you need to do is, you have to plan the cloud application, how you are going to develop the cloud or cloud service or cloud computing. How do you going to plan? Like, you will be having different services. What are the services that you can provide? This is the actual infrastructure provided in the cloud. Then, like, we can have intermediate virtualization concept of operating system. So they will be having 4 operating system, actual operating system. There will be virtualization layer, virtual layer, which creates the copy of this operating system to the client. It creates the instance of operating system, how the client access it. So there will be services. If you have 4 operating system and the clients connected on and provide getting service are 5 different instances are created of different operating system. How many clients can get added is, you can have maximum number of clients based on what is the capacity of your infrastructure. cloud infrastructure. Based on that, you can have 1,000, 10,000, 50,000, lakh. So it depends on the capacity of infrastructure you have invested in a cloud structure or cloud infrastructure. Okay. So the design and development of cloud will require some of the consideration. One is the business functions, that is what type of business you are going to do or what type of service you are going to provide to a client. Then what must be the architecture of the cloud? How does the cloud must be? Whether it must be of PaaS, or it must provide SaaS, or it must provide IaaS, or all the three. What type of service or what type of architecture you need for your cloud? Next thing you need to consider is, how do you implement security in your cloud? What are the security models you can consider? For this, you can take the concept of network security. How you are going to provide the security to your data when it is passed over the network or when it is stored in the cloud server. Next consideration you need to make is cloud delivery model. Cloud delivery model is how your data is going to deliver to a client, whether in public or private or with a hybrid concept. Next, you need to take care of user experience. You need to take care of the feedback by the clients time to time so that you can improvise your service to the client. Then all these things are over. That means you can use the service for another 10 years. If you assume like that, it will be a backdrop or it will be a danger to your business. How it is danger is, for anything you need to have an updation, you need to have a review, and you need to update according to the time and the requirement of the clients, because client is everything. You have to change your cloud service according to the changing environment in the IT and according to the change in the requirements of the client. For that, you need to have proper development will be there. You need to test the service you are providing time to time, and you have to check with the runtime environment whether it is running properly or not. You need to check all these things. Okay. How do you select architecture is through some of the criteria evaluation. So you have to check the criteria that are needed by the client. Okay. Along with that, the key thing is the security aspect. As we have told from the beginning of this subject, the main concern in cloud computing is of security of the data or the applications that are given by the cloud vendor. Okay. It has to have a proper security measure to secure the data or the environment created for the client. Okay. Along with that, we need to have the data protection and the isolation of the data from other areas of the cloud environment. You are not providing service of only one type, is it not? If you are providing only one type of service like data storage, you need not too much worry about other things, because storing the data and securing all those data will be the prime things that you have to do in your cloud. But if you are providing multiple services along with storage, you are providing platforms to develop the applications, you are providing hardware components, you are providing business solutions to the organization, you are performing multiple tasks or providing multiple service to the client. In such a case, you have to isolate, along with protection, you have to isolate the data from other applications or other services you are providing to a client. You may be providing other applications to any number of clients or other clients, but you have to separate the data from the other applications. We have to develop the security so that it will be like a barrier between the data and the client applications they are using. Okay, what is the best solution for this protection of data or security of data is the encryption. Okay, so encryption I have told you in the network security session, where encryption is changing the normal form of the data so that the attacker, the outsider, will not be able to recognize the data form or original message that has been enclosed within the data packet. Like encryption is the chance to have a security model. You need to have the backend systems. If a mobile is a client, if you have backend system, okay, this is the cloud service architecture, and these are the other services, social medias or SaaS you are providing. These are the clients, these are the services you are providing. These are the different cloud group of cloud vendors. You need to have APIs and security system for this backend architecture so that you can save or protect the data from the attackers. For this, the best solution you can have is the encryption method. In encryption, normal local server or local data need not to be encrypted because we are using the data within the organization. So, no need of encryption or high level security model needed for the local server. But in case of cloud, you need the encryption method to protect the data from the attackers. Okay, usually we use the encryption method to protect the data. Okay, after planning is over, cloud computing planning is over, the next thing that we need to concentrate is the business solutions and the operational support services. Business support services and the operational support services. Okay, what are these business support services and operational support services is, once you have planned what are the infrastructure and other things you need, next you can have the services. What type of service you are going to give? That is, business support services are the components. These are the components, different components you can have that the cloud operators are using to run their business operations. These are the services that are not given to the clients. Instead, they are implemented within the cloud, as cloud is also a business. Okay, business support services is the components are the services that the cloud is going to implement to run their own business, to run their own cloud service. Okay, such operations includes the accepting the customer orders, customer services, managing the customer data, leveraging the environments or platforms, creating the instances of the operating system or instances of the other hardware or other platforms, applications. All these things comes under business support services. These are the services which support the business. If you look into the term business support services, services that are going to support the business are called as the business support services. Next comes is the operational support services. What are these operational support services? It is the computer system or service used by cloud service providers. So, this is operational, that is to run the business. This is operational, like network services, providing a network facility to the client, and provisioning services, provide provisioning or giving provision of accessing a particular data in the cloud. It may be stored by the cloud itself. So you have to access the data from the cloud. Suppose the cloud is providing you all the songs of 90s or old or party songs or any kind of songs or any videos they have stored in their database. They can have the provisioning service of giving the service providing or giving a provision to the client to access the data that they have stored. It is not stored by the client, instead it is stored by the cloud vendor himself. Okay, what are the benefit of BSS and OSS is it needs to be externalized. It will be internal usually, but it will be externalized so that they can be moved to cloud environments. If you are a cloud vendor and you have thousands of songs and thousands of videos that are stored in your local server, you can make it available on the network and you can make the provision to access that service. Okay, sometimes what happens is you will be having network service, but just you can view it, you cannot access and take back to the client. Okay, client machine. If I am accessing from a client machine C1 to a server S1 where all the videos, useful videos, presentations, notes, everything has been stored by me. I'm a cloud vendor. I have stored all the notes, all the presentations, all the question papers, everything I have stored in the cloud. I'm giving a network service. That means the client can access or can view the files, but are not able to access it. That means you cannot store, C1 cannot store. If there is a copy of file F1 can be viewed, but cannot be stored in the client machine. The provision has been not given to store it in the machine or downloading. The provisioning service sometimes can be provided or it may be denied. Okay, so operational support services mainly concentrates on what are the different operations the cloud is going to perform in its business. Okay, so this is about the BSS and the OSS. Next comes is the cloud ecosystem. How does the cloud environment is all about? Okay, so we have a layer like operating system or hypervisor. Middle layer usually will have intermediate platforms like PHP, MySQL, Apache, Hadoop. So these are the different applications or the platform that are provided in database like SQL Server, .NET, Java, Python or PHP. So different organizations are providing different services in this lower layer, that is infrastructure as a service. Okay, when it comes to PaaS, platform related service, so you'll be having these many platforms that can be leveraged. Next is application layer. In SaaS, what are the examples or what are the things you can leverage is the social medias which are provided by an organization termed as LAMP. Okay. Next, Windows Live and Bing, that will be provided as a software to the client. Then Google Apps. So most widely used application in today is the Google Apps. You have so many apps where you can have the best example of cloud. You can do anything in the Google, like you can have data stored. You have Google Word, Google Excel, Google Database, Google Presentation, Google Classroom, Google Meet. So we have all the facilities that are available in cloud. Okay, Google app is the best example for the SaaS application. Okay, what is the ecosystem requirement is bringing any cloud service. If you want to bring any cloud service to market, requires a pre-investment. What investment you need to make on developing a cloud services? Pre-investment along with respective metering and charging models. Pre-investment is about the servers, mainly the servers needed. Investment needed will be mainly the servers and some other platforms you can purchase on your own, or you can have, if not able to purchase every software or every platform, what you can do, you can take the help of third party, like if it is Adobe Reader or Adobe Writer. You cannot have an entire software of Adobe Writer. Adobe Reader is anyhow available as a free source, open source, but Adobe Writer is not available. So you can have, instead of purchasing Adobe Writer, you can approach the Adobe organization and you can make it a third party to provide the service to the client for the Adobe Writer. Like that, you need to have some of the pre-investment on creating a cloud ecosystem, or ecosystem is nothing but environment, the cloud environment. Okay. Along with that, you need to have charging models. How do you are going to charge for your clients? What are the different measures you can take to earn money from the cloud service? Okay. So this is a basic thing about the cloud ecosystem. Next comes is the cloud business process management. How does the cloud is going to have a management of the business process? Okay, so this is in short called as the BPM, business process management, can be taken as the process or the management, managing something which governs an organization's cross-functional with the local and the cloud, customer focused, end-to-end core business processes. Okay, so this is to manage the organization. If you are having a cloud service, to manage organizational cross-functional, if it is performing a cross-functional, you need to concentrate on the customer. Along with that, end-to-end, one customer to another customer, you need to have the satisfaction of both the customers. Okay, core business process. Okay, so objective of this BPM is to direct and deploy the resources from organization into efficient process that create the customer value. What you need to do in cloud is, what is the objective is to direct and deploy the resources. Directing resources, what are the tasks that can be performed on a resource, and deploying that resource with the client. Okay, from the organization into efficient process. It's just not having a process, it is directing the organization to have an efficient process that can create a customer value. You need to have the customer value for that process. Okay, the business process management or cloud BPM is used to make the business of cloud service a profitable one, like order to cash. That means giving service only after receiving the subscription fee, integrated product development, helping in or integrating our platform with database of the client, or providing a database service or integrating our database service with the platform of their own, integrated product development, Then integrated supply chain, supplying the service to the client, integrating with the third party or along with our own, providing a Visual Studio environment with the database of our own. That is integrated supply chain. Okay, so this is how the BPM differentiates from the normal or the traditional functional management discipline. What does the functional management discipline or the normal management will do is, it will not concentrate on integration of the products or integration of the work, both the cloud as well as the local. What is the principle or what is the intention of BPM, cloud BPM is to integrate the service provided by the cloud as well as the service given in the client side. We have to integrate both the environments. So this is where the cloud BPM plays a vital role of integrating all the works along with the cloud and the local component. Okay, so cloud BPM concentrates on enterprise application, human workflow, how does humans are going to work. If you have private cloud, how the application is going to access the data. If it is public cloud, how do you secure the data, and what are the different SaaS apps that can be integrated. It is integrating all these applications to perform a successful business. Okay, along with this, it follows the principles of continuous improvement, that is continuous upgradation and updating. Updating and upgradation is the necessity of any technology that are used in today's world, isn't it? Without upgradation, without any updates or without any upgrades, none of the business, none of the technology can survive, is it not? So, it needs or it demands continuous improvement. The BPM, cloud BPM, it always expects continuous improvement, which increases the value of the business and sustaining market competitiveness. What happens is, along with updating your business, you need to have the knowledge of competition that is in the current business. If you don't move along with the competition, or if you don't have knowledge about the competitions that are going on in the business world, you cannot successfully run a business, isn't it? Okay, so how our organization, how much competitiveness our organization is having, or how much dominance we are showing on the service provided by other cloud vendors. If I am a leading cloud vendor, I must know what points or what principles will increase my competitiveness with the running or with the parallel clients. If I am a runner, I must know what is my benefit or what is my strength when compared to other runners running in a competition. So, if you are running in a competition, if you are having a competition, you need to know what are the strengths of yourself and what are the weaknesses of other players. So, this is where business is also a competition where you need to update and upgrade yourself, along with you need to sustain yourself with the competitiveness in the market with the other clients. Okay, it also defines and aligns operations, organizations and information technology. What are the different operations the organization must carry out, and what are the information technology upgradations you need to have in your business. Okay, so this is how the cloud business process management or cloud BPM is going to help a cloud vendor to be ahead with the time compared to the other cloud vendors. Okay. Along with that, the cloud environment, the cloud ecosystem can help to successfully implement the BPM. Okay, how does the cloud ecosystem or the environment will help the BPM is by integrating the core processes. So it has to integrate the core process in ecosystem, like you need to have the holistic or complete integration of the core process. That means you need to have an entire process completely integrated with one another. Then it must integrate the cross-organizational functions. It is having, if a third party is there, you need to have cross-organizational functions and boundaries. How much service you need to have with the third party if you are going to take a third party service. How much you are going to have. The boundary of how much you can take the service from the third party. So it must be taken care along with includes the business and technology. How does the business is going to run and what are the technologies that you need to have in your cloud ecosystem or environment will also be taken care by the cloud BPM. Okay, it is going to manage all these things. Okay. Next comes is to know about integration of the platform and deployment component services. Integration and deployment component services will have a value focused efficiency of the cloud. Okay, how does it concentrates is customer center perspective from the view of the customer. What is the main thing that needs to be taken care for succeeding in a cloud service? Speed at which the service is delivered and the measurement of the performance. How better you are giving the service to the client when compared to the other cloud vendors. Okay. Along with that, it is concentrating on the continuity in the service. Okay. So this is based on longer periods of intervals to cloud business. How much time or how many times or till which time the service must be provided is a thing that needs to be considered for the platform integration, integrating the different platforms and deploying the component of the cloud. Okay. It has to have continuous improvement. You need to have the continuous improvement of all the services given to the client. Along with that, the cloud management will consider the cultural aspect of the business, like geographical area, in which area your service is residing or to which client you are providing the service. Okay, that culture must also be considered before providing a particular kind of service. Okay, next is to identify the BPM opportunities, cloud BPM. Where does your business can grow? Okay, in this we have set of opportunities or set of questions that can be used to identify the opportunity in a cloud. Okay, first thing is, what are the strategic value proposition and capabilities defined by the enterprise? If you are trying to give a service to an organization, you need to know what is the strategic value in a business or the organization to which you are approaching. Then how do you manage core business processes? How you are going to communicate with them over the business? Then how does your customers measure and assess the performance of your processes? whether they are too stringent or too liberal, how they are going to assess the service of yours. If you are a cloud vendor, how does your customer organization is going to assess your performance will give you an insight of how does your business must run, okay, which gives you more opportunities. If the client gets satisfied with your service, the business can be improved with the reference of that organization, is it not? To select an organization, whether it is suitable to get your service, you need to consider all these things, okay. So these will help you to grow your business, like strategic support capabilities, how well they can support your strategy. Advantage capabilities, if you are accessing an organization, say if you are accessing a MNC, what are the advantages you can have by having that customer. Then business necessity capabilities, how much that service is necessity for the organization. And essential capabilities, what is the essential capabilities of your organization. All these things will give you an insight of how does you can select an organization, or how does you can get an opportunity for business process management, okay. Along with that comes is the cloud application development can provide a reference architecture to you before starting any cloud service, unmatched experience developing high performing secured applications. You can have the experience of having secure applications across a wide range of technologies. You can provide high range of technologies of a cloud vendor, okay. Along with that, security also plays an important role, and cloud related technologies. How does you are going to make this possible with multi-tenancy if you have multiple users? Implemented virtualization and parallel computing, okay. Along with that, you need to have, with platform integration, you need to have expertise with cloud business models. You need to have the experts with the cloud business models. Along with that, you need to have ability to integrate a portfolio of related services like Gmail. If you are giving Gmail as a service, what are the integrated portfolios? Like if you are having Gmail, you can access Google, you can access Drive, you can access Classroom, you can access other Google apps. You can access any Google app if you have a Gmail account. So, which tells you the integration of portfolios or integration of services that can be provided on a related service. If you take one service of Gmail account, you can get all the integrated services of other Google apps, okay. Next comes is the cloud technical strategy, okay. How does the strategy is going to happen in a cloud, okay. Cloud services allows the user to create a middleware. If they are having hardware, yes, it will allow the client to create a middleware and utilize the public clouds provided by the client, okay. They are providing infrastructure services, platform services and application services. In short, you can call it as IaaS, PaaS and SaaS. You can provide these services, okay. It also gives you build a middleware cloud in their local data center. The client can provide or create a middleware in their own data center. So, it can provide the support in the following areas. Like you can have the middleware, OS, hypervisor, storage and data. They can provide the services storage and data, virtual machine management. Like you can have all these applications for virtual management, testing tools. If you have taken the platform service, you can have the testing tools. Along with that, middleware, application middleware, and the actual applications. You can have multiple applications integrated with one single service. Okay. So this cloud service strategy will enable the software for cloud. It implies that it supports for multi-tenancy. That means using the virtualization, the cloud can offer same platform or hardware to the multiple clients. You can have a self-service registration, no need of approaching the cloud. They are giving you the credentials and you are going to use it. You can have the self-service registration. That means you can your own register to the cloud, like created by a government. You can have self-service registration. You can register to yourself using your mobile number. It comes a OTP and you can register to the application. That is called as the self-service registration. Then managing customers and their entitlements. How does the customer details will be stored in the cloud, and additional security concern will be given along with the cloud service. Okay. Next is how to integrate with the data center. Okay. If you are having local data center, how does services are going to integrate with the data centers? They'll be having firewalls, reverse proxy configurations to access and store the data in the local data centers. Domain names and certificates for securing the data. Management of services and patch procedures, providing the patch to the service. Then isolation, recovery and backup issues. Okay. So this is something about the cloud strategy that can be provided. Okay. In the next session, we are going to learn about cloud service management and the cloud stack. Thank you.